When it comes to the Nintendo Switch, I think we can all agree upon one thing. The technology that's used within the system is showing its age. It wasn't exactly the most robust thing when it hit the market with the Tegra X1 chip, which is already outdated in some people's minds. And of course, the fact that we haven't gotten any sort of revision on the system definitely leads people to believe that, yes, indeed there will be another Nintendo Switch system. I mean, let's be realistic. Even at the bare minimum, Nintendo's not going to ride this system out for 10, 20 years. There's going to be another system. There's going to be another system that Nintendo is working on. It's just easy to call something like the Switch Pro or the Switch 2 or whatever. It's an easy buzzword to get, but I understand why people are sick and tired of Switch Pro rumors and Switch Pro information, because it's tiring to talk about. You know, obviously when the Switch OLED was becoming a thing and that was what we thought was going to be the Pro, Mochizuki was saying it was the Pro, that it was going to have 4K output and all this stuff. We ended up getting an OLED screen on our standard Nintendo Switch. Now, there is hardware within the dock that hasn't even been utilized that'll allow for firmware updates. There's a lot of different rabbit holes you can go down with this, and I feel like we've been down all these rabbit holes. So I only talk about, you know, Nintendo Switch revision stuff, the next Nintendo Switch system, when there's actually some more concrete stuff to go on here. And a lot of people are talking about this story. I want to get my piece of the pie because I'm sure videos are going to start popping up all over the YouTubes saying that the new system is confirmed and this is indeed what it's going to use. I'm not going to say that. Is there a chance that this is a correlation with a new Nintendo Switch system? 100% there's a chance. But if that chance is realized or not, I'm not here to say, because I don't think you can make a definitive case. It's just something worth exploring. It's something worth talking about, and just take the information and do with it as you will. But like I said at the start of this video, we can all agree that the Nintendo Switch is not going to be the last system that Nintendo ever makes. There will be a successor. There will be another system on the marketplace. Most of us anticipate that this is going to stick with Nvidia, because Nintendo does indeed have a deal in place with Nvidia, and I'm sure both Nvidia and Nintendo have been very happy with the success of the Nintendo Switch. Well, here's where things get interesting, because Nvidia had their whole little meeting today talking about their new 4080 computer technology stuff and DLSS 3, all this madness that, I mean, it's PC gaming stuff. I'm not a big PC gamer. The only time I play PC games, honestly, is when a developer sends me a code for a game to review the game. And if I'm interested enough in the game, or if it's a sponsored video or something like that, I'll definitely take time out of my day to play the game on the computer. My console of choice, my platform of choice is a console. It'll always be a console. That's just the way it is. But shout outs to the PC gamers out there. You know, shout outs to you guys. You're in the trenches. You're doing lots of cool stuff that I wish my consoles could do. Maybe one day I'll come around to it. But like I said, Nvidia had their whole big presentation today. But what a lot of people are taking away from this presentation is some information. Now, you can correlate this information to potential rumors and leaks that we've gotten previously, and that's where things get kind of interesting. So this information is coming to us from Gaming Leaks and Rumors Reddit. Follow me in the blue, put up a nice little write-up about this. So to make things easy for myself, we're just gonna go with this. An Nvidia employee has confirmed the existence of the Tegra 239 chip, which has been rumored since 2021 as being developed for the next generation Nintendo Switch. His comment, which can be accessed at linux.org, and states, adding support for Tegra 239 system on a chip, which is what the Tegra X1 is, which has 8 cores in a single cluster. Also moving number clusters to SoC data to avoid over allocating memory for 4 clusters always. You can see here, there's a whole thing in here. It's like an email or something going on with this, and you know, that's cool. Like there's a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of revisions that have been done recently with this email. This means absolutely nothing to me. Obviously, the whole main thing that people are taking away with this is the Tegra 239 system on a chip. Now, you could sit there and say, well, what the hell does that have to do with the Nintendo Switch? You know, the Nintendo Switch has a Tegra X1 chip in it. This is a completely different chip that we're talking about with us. Well, that's where things get kind of weird and murky, because you might remember Nvidia faced a massive leak, a massive data breach, where all of their stuff just kind of got put out there on the internet. There was literally games that hadn't been announced yet, games that nobody knew about that were talked about within this leak, and pretty much every single thing that was in that leak has indeed come true. It's come to fruition. The games have been announced, the games have been revealed. Hell, in some cases, the games themselves have come out. So when we're talking about that original Nvidia leak, a lot of people put stock into it as like, yo, whatever's talked about in this eventually is going to happen because the track record is pretty much impeccable with this. And reading further, we could see that that's where things get really interesting. The incident further corroborates reliable Nvidia leaker Kopite7Kimi's assertion that Nvidia will use a modified version of its T34 Orin chip for the next generation Nintendo Switch. As of this leak, we know the following details about the next Nintendo Switch console. And I'm not saying that this is necessarily true. Okay, this is for the information here, and we'll discuss it and talk about it. T239 system on a chip, info from the above leak. 8-core CPU, likely to be an ARM Cortex A78C or A78, infirmed from the above leak. Ampere-based GPU that may incorporate some Lovelace features. The second generation Nintendo Switch graphics API represents DLSS 2.2 and ray tracing support. This is a preliminary picture of T234 in Wikipedia. Very clear. So why do we always guess? Nintendo will use a customized one, T239, and this was reported back in what? June 11th of 2021. So it's not like this is all necessarily new information. You know, some of this information has been out there. It was more so about connecting the dots. It was more so about trying to find stuff to lend itself to connecting this with a Nintendo Switch system. Obviously, this is something that exists. This is technology that Nvidia is doing. This is clearly a T234 in Wikipedia, and Nintendo is going to use a T239. We can also see here, it's funny what I said about the new Nintendo Switch system on a chip. It's a T239. It's not any of this other stuff. Maybe it'll incorporate some things. But once again, this is from March 1st of 2022. So, you know, like I said at the start of this video, I am not saying that this is indeed confirming anything. This doesn't mean that this system is coming out alongside of Tears of the Kingdom, like a lot of people think Nintendo might do a hardware refresh. This might not even be a hardware refresh. This could be the full-on successor to the Nintendo Switch. This could come out next year, 2 years, 3 years. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying that we have to accept the fact that at some point in time, Nintendo will be doing a revision on the Switch. There will be a new system, a successor, something to supersede it on the video game marketplace. And now it seems like we're starting to get information about what this system is going to be using and what this system is going to be capable of. And I think that's pretty cool stuff. You know, I'm not putting a timetable on this until, you know, there's some better definitive proof out there. A lot of people seem to believe that there will be a new system tied in with Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, maybe there is. They launched the original Switch with it. Will the system be backwards compatible? This, that, and the other? None of us really know. At this point in time, it's pretty much a speculation. But now some of the speculation, because of Nvidia leakers, is starting to line up. We're starting to get more information based out of Nvidia themselves with things that we've allegedly heard from these leakers from years past that were going to be incorporated in this next Nintendo Switch console. So I just wanted to share this information with you guys. I think some people are going to run with this like crazy and be like, this is the proof, it's coming tomorrow. And it's like, bro, you gotta keep your expectations in line with this. But it does look like something is indeed brewing. You have to admit, the system isn't gonna last forever, okay? The technology in this is dated. The first-party Nintendo games that struggle to run on here. You gotta do something at some point in time. So I guess my question to you guys is, do you believe the Nvidia leak? Because, I mean, you should at this point in time. It's pretty much been spot on. And more importantly, when do you think that this new system will indeed launch? Is this going to be alongside of Tears of the Kingdom? Is this 2 years away, 3 years away? How do you see this playing out for the Nintendo Switch brand? Do they even keep the Nintendo Switch brand? I would think they would, because I mean, the Switch brought them back into prominence, you know, in the overall video game landscape, especially after the Wii U. I think you got to stick with that Switch name and just ride it out. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to this channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share, hit the bell notification as well. And as always, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Later.